What is going on, everybody? One Piece 479. Luffy flexed his trump card that he doesn't even know is a trump card. Man, flexed his conqueror's haki on everybody last episode. Which I just don't think is a... And he doesn't have control of it, but I feel like, you know, he's been such an annoyance to the Marines for, I don't know the actual time. Like, I don't know how long it's been from, you know, Impel Down, Ennis Lobby, like with a couple months that they've really been like annoyed with his activities. You know, they did send Garp out and others to capture him, and they kind of let it go, but it's like, all right, whatever. He's one of the new up and coming little fish, whatever. But after that, and Impel Down just happening, and him showing up and finding out the relation that, you know, him and Ace, well, are brothers or whatever you want it to be, and people might know he's related to Dragon. All these things are stacking up, and then on top of it, he busts out this, I don't even know kind of what we want to label it, but this incomplete conqueror's haki, which I could see the Marines being like, we gotta snuff this shit out right now. Like, he's been this annoying, this much of a problem. If he, because again, I don't know if conqueror's haki is something that you had to be born with or something anybody can achieve if given enough training, if given enough life or death scenario. Like, could Chopper or Usopp or Nami, could they achieve conqueror's haki, or do you have to be like destined, like Naruto descendant, Sasuke, Madara, Uchiha descendant to have it? Like, it's that rare. I kind of want it, and I think we talked about this, I want it to be something that's achievable for anybody, because you kind of pigeonhole yourself, you box yourself into a corner of like characters that can be effective when you kind of get to like close to endgame / endgame level villains or enemies. If you kind of back yourself into a corner, like kind of like a Naruto and Sasuke type thing, where it's like, if you're not a descendant of like Sage of Six Paths, or kind of have the ability to like be a perfect Sage and perfect Jinchuriki mixed in one, or you don't have, you know, Uchiha blood running through you with Madara and like all this, if you don't have that like specific power set, you really can't be, you know, kind of at the end, unless you kind of rarely have like one busted subset technique or something that usually most of the time costs like an exchange of your life, like a Might Guy situation. So I'm hoping it can be achieved by anybody, but you also don't want it to be like walking around like you want it to be rare, like it used to be, like being a Super Saiyan used to be, but then you don't want everybody's kid walking around like Trunks and Kid Gohan and shit, just like everybody achieving it, you know. So there's like a fine line of like, I want it to be obtainable, but I don't want everybody to have it by the end of the story, you know, because it kind of really eliminates like who can we actually think could be effective here. Who are the ones that we know? I'm assuming Whitebeard had it. I don't know what the levels of it is as he's older, but let's say Whitebeard, let's say Rayleigh, let's say Boa, and then let's say Luffy. Are those the only 4 users we know? 2 of them are not in their prime anymore and probably can't give it its full extent to what it could or used to be. Luffy has no idea what haki even is, let alone conqueror's haki. And then we have Boa, which I'm pretty sure she's pretty busted, but we've yet to see her really be serious. They've kind of... I liked her character before she figured she loved Luffy, because I kind of liked her attitude and personality. Now she's just kind of this like slapstick gag thing that they've... But she also happens to have conqueror's haki at the same time. But to say all that is like, if I'm one of the navies or Marines or government officials, I'm trying to snuff his ass out right now. We cannot have this develop into being... He's already been a problem for us, you know. And if he gets a handle on that conqueror's haki and really like, maybe, I'm assuming maybe Prime Roger had it, or, you know, Prime Whitebeard, but if he developed it to a point of like a Prime Roger, a Prime Whitebeard, like, that's a problem that we just don't want to deal with. So if we can get him at the kid state right now and handle that, let's go ahead and handle it. Now, as an outside viewer, we know that they're not going to handle it. And Luffy is going to develop it and is going to develop these powers. So we'll see. And I would assume maybe the other 4 Dawn's King pirates might have it as well. Maybe Shanks has it, so that might get us up to 5. And then there were the other 2 that we still don't know. their silhouettes or what they look like, right? So maybe some of them have been mentioned. I haven't seen it. I think there's 10 or less that we've either seen, we think probably confirmed has it, or their name has been mentioned and I haven't like seen them. But it's rare. But as far as I know, I guess I would say Shanks as well, and the others just might not have been mentioned. Maybe Shanks and Boa are the only two currently in their prime that probably have it. But Shanks is without an arm. Now, I don't think Boa could take him, but maybe Boa could. I don't know. I don't know. But that's where we left off at. Whitebeard has a bowling ball size hole in his chest. And he's slowing down. The sickness or illness is taking over. Marco's he's getting dotted up by Kizaru's light. The other Juzo Diamond Boy is frozen. The other swordsman who was throwing hands with Mihawk, I don't know what he's doing. And everything's gone to shit. Now that's another batch of executioners that have been knocked out. Does that mean we're gonna have to call in another one, or can Goku or somebody pick up a sword and just execute this man or not? And then also the other question is everybody that's still standing that wasn't affected like that, are they haki users themselves? Do you have to have a baseline of haki to resist a haki level attack like that? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we got. There's a lot of questions related to haki that I don't have the answers to, and I really hate how they're doing it. But yeah, it is what it is at this point. See, he doesn't even know how to do it again if he wanted to. Okay, Shanks has it, and they said Whitebeard as well, and they've acknowledged that he used it unconsciously. I'm assuming maybe Mihawk as well, maybe? I don't know. He was born with it, as I thought. He uses it too. And they know he's, yeah. So I'm assuming maybe Dragon does as well, so maybe add him to the list. Eh? He doesn't even know what he did. It is not ready to be used. He doesn't know how to, wouldn't know how to if he put his life on it. Okay, so we've got Dragon, Shanks, Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Boa, Luffy. 6? And then maybe the other 2 that we haven't seen, maybe 7, 8. And I'm sure somebody else here has to know how to use it, right? An admiral, maybe? Maybe Garp? Maybe Goku? Jesus Christ, Whitebeard. Now, he does know how to use his, but I'm assuming, like... Oh, man. I would love to see him go crazy with, like, full Conqueror's haki. Full Quake, like, in his prime. I had a couple of you tell me that if... Now, again, I don't know if this is exaggerated because, like, again, I didn't think he had a chance coming into it, and it hasn't looked any better. I had people telling me that if this was prime Whitebeard, he succeeds here. Like, stomps. Like, don't change anything. Don't add Shanks in. Don't add Luffy knowing how to use haki. Don't add that Ace is actually free of his handcuffs or anything like that. The only factor you change here is just put Whitebeard in his prime. Just change that one factor. I had a lot of people telling me if this is prime Whitebeard, this gets wrapped up quick. Is that true? Take 20 to 30 years off this man's life, and the tables are getting shifted that hard? That hard. Jeez, that sound, then I would, man, I don't know. Then prime Whitebeard is a serious problem then. If you're telling me if we just put him in his prime without sickness, and it's that much of a difference, then that's insane, actually. Not like, oh, it'd give them a 50% chance, you know, something crazy like that. But like, it would actually mean that they just win and easily win? My God. Dang, he said abandon him. He said leave him. He said leave him. That's the new plan of action. I mean, he knows too that like he's got no juice. Someone get the handcuffs off of him. I don't think he can handle these two. I don't think he can handle these two. Yeah, I don't think he can. Ooh, okay, I was about to say. With the little monkey on his shoulder. He can't handle this. Oh, perfect. Keep moving. Whoa. Okay, Zenitsu. Alright. Now what happens if Okuji just walks up here and freezes all of you? Like, there's still no answer for them is the issue. Like, okay, they took a vice admiral here, they took a vice admiral here, they took a captain here. What do you do when Lava Boy comes over here and just moltens the whole fucking landscape? Then what? I mean, and I just think Whitebeard's gonna die. And it's interesting because, like, what do you do with the admirals? Because you already froze one of them that was throwing hands with him. Marco's got a handcuff. Marco has a handcuff on him that is literally turning him into Prime Usopp, by the way. Like, just making him useless. Because of that one little handcuff that he's not going to be able to break off. Nobody else is going to be able to help him take it off. So what do you do with the admirals then? What do you do? They really want to get rid of Whitebeard. Yeah, they really want to take him down. Just for the morale that it would give. And I mean, you take out the greatest pirate in the world right now. If there's a chance to do that, screw Luffy, we just do it. Whoa. See, like, we need more of that on our side. We just don't have it. Is he invincible? Look at him! My man's about to die. And see, that this is another thing that makes me so sad of like seeing Whitebeard talk about, like, you know, you were the one that did what I couldn't. You have the middle initial D. You have XYZ. Oh shit! Crocodile's boy. Like, seeing how Whitebeard talks about Luffy right there, it makes me wish that Whitebeard and Luffy could have spent some time together outside of... Yeah, okay, I was about to say, is he actually going to be able to compete or no? That other swordsman... Oh, shit! I want to see that. I don't think Crocodile wins that fight, but I'd like to see it. Yeah, but it really sucks that, like, we didn't get to see Luffy and Whitebeard develop a relationship, because that would have been so great. So great. Well, have we had the halfway cut? Oh man, we've been going. I'm so curious of the Boa storyline. Like, what happens to her after this? Yeah, they should stand down. Yeah, which they do. The other Luffy's voice actor, part 2. Hey, he's asking the right questions. Yeah. What's her play here? Have you fully renounced it, like you're just done? Are we just done with the warlord thing? Like, you're putting your island up to be attacked, pillaged, all of it? Like, you're just done with it, or what? Well, yeah, that's a very... I'm interested in that subplot, that storyline, that kind of tangent storyline. Okay, we just got the half credit. What does become of Boa? Because, like, she's shown herself in front of multiple people here to, like, really not only is she not helping, it'd be different if she was just standing off to the side saying, I don't want anything to do with this, but I'm here because you guys need me here. She's, like, actively gotten in their way. Saved his life multiple times, too. So I'm curious if, like, her island is just, like, no longer off limits. Maybe they strip her of her title, of course. And you kill a great... We had a good, solid 14 minutes of some great content right there. We did the same shit last episode. You spoil it throwing in this Buggy shit. You just kill the vibes for 2 minutes straight. Buzzkill. Defrost it right away. Yeah, toss it in the water. What's the play here? Let's see if he's got a... True, the salt with the slug. Yeah. What's the play here, buddy? Show me something crazy. God. What is that face? What? That was getting interesting there for a second because I was curious what he was going to do with that, but... I'm also curious, like, how this kind of gets resolved if, like... Because I was like, oh, maybe drag... Because I was thinking, like, maybe one of the other 4, I guess it's the other 3. Like, I don't know what we call them. King Pirates of the Sea or whatever. Or the Revolutionary Army. Or people thinking like Crocodile was initially when he got broken out. It's like, this is a very big opportunity here to weaken one of the sides, right? If we can go in and help defeat Whitebeard, maybe that looks better for us with our standing with the Marines, right? Or, if we're one of the 4, let's say, like, if you're on the revolutionary side, you just show up because you just want to fuck up either side. Like, we don't think these 4 Dons should be ruling the sea. We don't think the Marines should be doing what they're doing either. And if there's a chance that, like, both forces are really going head to head, if you're part of, like, Dragon's Revolution and shit, right? You could show up and just think, hey, this could be a good opportunity to weaken both sides. If there's a chance that we help the Marines take out Whitebeard, if there's a chance that we can assist Whitebeard taking out a couple of the admirals or Garp or Goku, like, it's a win. Whoever loses, it's a win for both our sides, right? But let's try to weaken both. But they haven't shown up. The only fisherman that showed up. So it's like, maybe Dragon side wants to show up to help weaken both, depending on what his motives is. If you're one of the other 4, it's like, I don't mind Whitebeard getting taken out and me scooping up all his territories, like what Crocodile was thinking. Or, I don't mind assisting Whitebeard and helping weaken the Marines. It seems like it's a win-win for anybody that wants to show up and help, like, pluck off, you know? But we've yet to see any outside assistance. So who's going to do the execution? Garp's going to have to be the one to step up, no? And where are the other admirals? He should be able to stretch from there, no? Are they really going to have a Garp? Has he just been hanging out in there? Again, his Devil's Fruit is very interesting. The way it, I don't even know how to even call it, like what to even describe it as, but it manifests its Devil's Fruit abilities, goes into other objects. Is crazy. Like, look how the gravel and the ground and the pathing is now like reacting because he did that. I can understand if he had kind of like when the CP9 member had like the door fruit, where like, okay, I can just touch this and I make a door. Like, he snips things and they change their property. It's crazy. I can understand if he could just cut anything. Cut a hole in this, cut a hole in that. My man is literally running down the yellow brick road right now and not facing any resistance. Like, zero. Where are the admirals? They're not preoccupied. The way Whitebeard's like down on his knees, all three of you don't need to be there. What? That's a lot of slices right there. Who did that? Okay. Whitebeard's commanders. Kizaru and Okuji should not be occupied right now. They should be free to go. So wild how, like, somehow the story has allowed Luffy to get to a point where he's running down a sidewalk, unimpaired, by the way. Insanity. Insanity. Where are the admirals at? Because all three of them, it's not like it was three admirals versus Whitebeard to begin with. It was just, I don't forget his name, Sukazaki. It was just him. Kizaru was dealing with Marco, who he messed up and put a Sea Prism handcuff on, so he should be free to roam. And then Okuji froze Juzo, so he should be free to roam as well. Where are y'all at? Tell me you're not dealing with fodder that you can't just light gun or freeze instantly, no? Man's got a golden ticket, man. He's running all the way home. Just no resistance. Insanity. Somehow the numbers have perfectly even out. Kizaru, what are you doing, buddy? Because he really... Oh shit, did he just blink on him? Holy shit, how did he get so close? I was wondering, like, Kizaru, what are you, like, you taking a snack break? Like, you've got nothing going on. What's taking him so long? What's Okuji doing? Well, we know Okuji, like, he doesn't want to fuck us up. He does work for the Navy, but he doesn't really want to be there. Goku and Garp, they're playing this... They're playing this triumphant music like Luffy just left home for the first time or got his first ship or something like that. Oh god. Here we go. I mean, I guess you want to set this storyline up, which I've been talking about for a couple episodes. Which one of them blinks first? Does Garp blink because he really doesn't want to mortally hurt Luffy? Or does Luffy blink first because he doesn't want to mortally hurt his grandfather? Who blinks? Who blinks? Who blinks? I think it's Garp that blinks. I think it's Garp. Goku, you could have been handled this by yourself. I think Garp's just talking shit. Episode's gonna end, but I don't think he's dead ass. I think Garp's just talking shit. Episode's gonna end. Interesting color palette they went with right there. Episode. That seemed like a long ass... I feel like I just watched an hour's worth of an episode. The pacing was nice, minus the Buggy stuff. They're playing triumphant music like he just set sail for the first time. Seeing Whitebeard blink on the back of Kizaru was pretty dope. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess you just kind of have to like accept the way like the story kind of went right there with how everybody's perfectly now all of a sudden we perfectly have a body for a body. Everybody's evenly blocked off. We've taken out Whitebeard's taken out enough numbers, so now our numbers are equal, and Luffy's just got a straight 50-yard touchdown run right down the middle. It's a little eyebrow raising how kind of the last half of that episode went. I really enjoyed the first half. The second half was just like, plot is going crazy. The plot is going crazy right there to set him up to be in that situation. Like I was saying, I don't know what Sakazuki's doing. I don't even know if that's his name. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Kizaru's doing. I don't know what Okaji's doing. Because they showed them since the last episode, they're not occupied by anything. You know, Marco was throwing hands with Kizaru, and we're like, okay, that got, even if you think that could be a balanced fight, okay, he's 1 for 1 with there. Juzo was throwing hands with Okaji. Again, maybe Juzo's probably not as strong as him, but at least you had a hat on a hat. Like, we had a body for a body, body for a body. And then Molten Lava Boy was with Whitebeard. So if you want to say he's occupied with that, sure, he's occupied with that. He puts a hole in his chest. He's bleeding. He's dropping to a knee. He really can't keep up. Does Tsukizaki even really need to be there? Maybe, sure. I'll give you that excuse. Okay, he's going to keep the pressure on Whitebeard. Sure, fine. The other two, though, they're not occupied with anything. You put the C prism handcuff on Marco already, and you've been fucking him up. So you could just let the fodder just keep with him busy. Okaji, you don't have anything going on either. Now Okaji's an interesting part though, because I feel like he's kind of like Saul was in the Nico Robin flashback, to where he works for the Marines, he's doing his duty, but he knows right from wrong. And we've seen him, I don't want to say take an affinity to us, but not kill us when he's had the chance. So if you want to crank that up, like, okay, Okaji, but if you feel like he would at least step in the way. So I don't know what Okaji's doing, number one. Then they finally show Kizaru, but Kizaru's been free this whole time to really get there, but okay, at least they showed us, okay, so that's fine. But if you want to say Whitebeard's on Kizaru, then where's Molten Lava Boy? Where's Okaji? I don't know, there's a lot of pieces that, like, are now conveniently not in the way, so who knows about all that. Regardless, I've been talking about it for a while, of, like, setting the storyline up to, do we think Luffy and Garp have to go head to head? And I've been asking that question since Garp decided to step down there. I've been asking the question of, like, okay, if that happens, you know, what's the result here? And I think Luffy would be the one to actually physically, like, really try to hurt / get past him if it meant saving Ace's life. I don't think Garp's serious. Like, I feel like he wants to stop Luffy. But if Luffy really comes in there, like, 100% determined, head down, I think Garp just folds. Like, doesn't put his all into it, or, like, lets him go. That's my opinion. So, like, is like the execution just off now because we don't have the proper executioners? It's like, well, it's canceled. We had executioners, and we had backup executioners. Now both have, like, suffered injury. Our referees have suffered injury. The game can't continue. So everybody, we're just gonna cancel this and reschedule it for another time. Ace, you're good to go. Like, we'll recapture you and do this all over again. Or is somebody gonna do something here? Goku, are you gonna do something? Who's a real piece of shit that would just be like, sure, I don't mind? Doflamingo? Does he just do his fucking shit and pluck Ace's head off? Maybe, you know who's also a piece of shit? So we're saying Doflamingo. You know who's also a piece of shit is fucking Molten Lava Boy. He has no problem walking up there and do it for the sake of the Marines, you know, right? For the sake of the government. So I can see those two pieces of shit doing it. If not, like, Goku deciding, screw it, I'll do it myself. Aside from those three, aside from there being, like, a random executioner out there that they finally get their hands on, like, okay, Goku, they're awake. And they're like, do it. I think it's going to be one of those three. Goku, Admiral, or Doflamingo. They're the only, like, three real pieces of shit. And I don't even know if Goku truly is. The man's just trying to do his job. Aside from that, unless an executioner gets back up. And then if they wanted to go really dark with it, they could have it be Garp. Garp like doesn't want to put down Luffy, but he would put down Ace. I don't think they go that. Maybe. And yeah, so we got a lot of moving, flowing parts like we always have had. It's a little too convenient how the last half of that episode went. But hey, we'll just leave it there. We'll see. It set up Garp versus Luffy, but how is that actually? Are we actually going to get Garp versus Luffy? Like really, like a whole episode dedicated to those two, like him throwing hands like he was with Crocodile or Rob Lucci, and like we're gonna get a straight fight. I don't think so, but it set it up, so we'll see how it goes. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,